Patriotic Alliance Deputy President Kunene said in the last few minutes that people were turned away from voting stations in some wards in Eldorado Park. He joins us live now from Johannesburg for more on the story. Kenny, good evening. Thankful for your time. So where exactly in Eldorado Park did this happen, and why were people turned away?
Thank you very much for having me. It is not only in Eldos, also in Eden Park in Kunene, people were turned away, although they could provide evidence of an SMS that they registered at the voting station. We believe, and then in Eldos it's Ward 17 and Ward 18. You will remember that we won Ward 17 and Ward 18 decisively in the by-elections in May. And we have got huge support in Eden Park. Now we realize that these people that have been turned away, in Ward 17 you are talking about around 200 people. And all these people are being told that they are registered to vote in Soweto. In Eden Park, the people were told that they are registered to vote in Duduza, which is very far from Eden Park. These people have never been to Duduza. The people in Eldorado Park has never been to Soweto, where they are said to have registered. Now, when our party agents argue that these people have registered there, they've got SMSs to prove that they've registered there. The presiding officer tells them that they need to have a paper that proves that they have registered there. But they've got SMSs from the IEC that confirms that they were registered there. So for us, this is like a project. We have seen what the ANC and the DA has been doing. It can't be a coincidence that where the ANC and the DA are weak, there are so many complaints of people being turned away. Where the ANC and the DA are strong, you have got no issues of people being turned away. So for us, this looks like an orchestrated project. I know that the IEC at the highest level has got very men and women of integrity. But we have also realized that the ANC pays people and the DA at the ground, people who come to work as IEC officials during elections to sabotage certain parties.
I just have to ask you for clarity there. That is quite an allegation that you're making, that the ANC and the DA are paying people in the ANC. The ANC and the DA are paying people in the IEC. Do you have proof of that?
We have had people that have told us, but we are busy putting together that proof. Because when you look, as I said, where the DA and the ANC, it cannot be a coincidence that where they are weak, people are being turned away. But where they are strong, you have got no cases reported to the media or to IEC of people being turned away. We have seen this during the by-elections in Beaufort West, where our members were turned away, being told that they have registered elsewhere. After they took off the PA T-shirts and they won ANC T-shirts, and they went to the ANC table, they were allowed to vote. So this is not the first time, and we have reported this thing to the IEC. It is still continuing. PA is being targeted by the DA and the ANC to weaken us. That is why the campaign of the DA has been, don't vote for smaller parties, rather vote for the ANC and the DA, and the DA is prepared to go into coalition with the ANC. It is very much undemocratic what is being done here. And the presiding officers, instead of following the law, they argue with people. There is a form that is called the MEC 74. When there is a mishap or a mistake on the side of the IEC, where a person can prove that they are registered at a certain VD, but the machine says they are registered elsewhere, the presiding officer must look at the evidence. And if there is an evidence, they fill in an MEC 74. They have refused. The presiding officer at Ebenezer Church in Ward 17 in Eldorado Park has refused, although these people have showed him SMSs. So you wonder whether this presiding officer has been paid. This presiding officer is pushing an agenda, a political agenda, or he is there as an official of IEC who must follow the law.
We're pressed for time, but quick final one. You say you've spoken to the IEC about this before. Have you reported what you say happened today?
Yes, we have reported in Ward 57 in Eden Park at JD Thomas, and we have reported in Ebenezer Church in Ward 17. The ANC wants to steal the votes. They bribe IEC officials on the ground so that because they realize that they're going to lose. There's also been an allegation that we are paying people to vote for us. That is very racist. They picked Eldorado Park, and this journalist for Kaya FM, Marvin Simpsons, says that we pay people to vote for us in Ward 17 and Ward 18. That is a lie, and it's a racist statement. He's basically saying that colored people cannot think for themselves on who to vote for. They have to be bought. Why does they pick the colored wards where we have won decisively against the DA and the ANC? So we have been made a project by these two big parties.
Kunene, Deputy President of the Patriotic Alliance. I'm sure we'll talk more about this at this point. Just to reiterate for everyone watching, these are allegations by the Patriotic Alliance that some of its members were deliberately turned away from voting in areas around Eldorado Park. The allegation is that the ANC and the DA is behind that. As you heard, Kenny says they're still putting together evidence of that. I'm sure the IEC will likely face questions on this issue in the briefing that we're expecting in the next, 35 minutes or so.